Thank you, Ms. Georgely. Before moving on to the Bandura'S social learning theory, first let me introduce myself. I am Elizabeth Ramos from BSed English 22. And now, let us learn the Bandura'S social learning theory. Under the social learning theory, learning occurs within the social context and by observing and copying others' behavior of imitation by Akers and Jensen 2006. Albert Bandura is a proponent of this theory. Modeling refers to a change in one's behavior by observing models, Rosenthal and Bandura 1978. Modeling was equated with imitation, but modeling is a more inclusive concept, Mawson 1983. Bandura's theory is also called the social cognitive theory. Because of the influence of cognition in his theory, he is one among the few behaviorists who believe that human process information through cognition. Self-efficacy is defined as one's evaluation of his or her own ability to accomplish or perform an action in a particular context. Those with self-efficacy see themselves as capable or useful in dealing with the world and with other people. Next, the following are the fundamental principles of social learning theory. First, one may learn without changing his or her behavior. This is in contrast to what other behaviorists discussed earlier. For them, a change in behavior is always an indication of learning. 2. Learning takes place by imitating model. Admiration plays an essential role in imitating a particular behavior of the model. This explains why speech teachers recite a crucial sound first, then guide the learners until they can recite the sound correctly by themselves. 3. An observing person will always react to the one being imitated, depending on whether the model is rewarded or punished. If the model receives rewards, the imitator copies the behavior, and if the former is punished, the latter will most likely avoid copying the behavior. Acquiring and performing behavior are different. One can acquire the behavior by observing someone, but may opt not to perform it until the context requires so. 5. Interaction is vital for successful social learning. This means that copying behavior involves the guiding of one person's behavior by another person. 6. Learning is self-regulated. Bandura noted that self-regulation occurs when individuals observe, assess, and judge their behavior against their standards and subsequently reward and punish them. 7. Learning may acquire vicariously. For instance, when a model is given praises and rewards, the observer may likely repeat the copied behavior because he or she feels the same satisfaction too. 8. Learning may reinforce by the model or by others. Similarly, when a person is praised by his or her peers because of a change in a behavior, he or she may show an increase in that behavior. Components of successful modeling. Attention. This explains why teachers make use of bright colors or large fonts in their instructional aids for modeling to snatch the attention of the learners. Retention. When in a dance class, for instance, an observer counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with corresponding steps to store the dance steps in his or her memory. Rehearsal without coding and coding without rehearsal are less effective. Production. For example, a child may have a basic understanding of how to tie shoelaces but not able to translate that knowledge into behavior. Teachers who suspect that students are having trouble demonstrating what they have learned may need to test students in different ways. Motivation. Motivation is a crucial process of observational learning that teachers promote in various ways, including making learning interesting, relating material to student interests, having students set goals and monitor goal progress, providing feedback indicating increasing competence, and stressing the value of learning. Experience. To ensure that all students achieve the overall goal, as a teacher later, you may set short-term goals each day by saying, "Today, we're going to work on these 5 words. By the end of the class time, I know that you will be able to spell these 5 words." Children should view their daily goals as easier to attain than the weekly goal. Self-efficacy and learning through observation are from Bandura's social cognitive theory. We can merge these principles and apply them to teaching. For instance, you may select certain students to solve a board mathematical problem. When they are successful, the peer models help evaluate observer self-efficacy for performing well. Using effective models or demo teaching is an effective way to facilitate student-centered learnings. For instance, if you were a TLE teacher, you could teach your students how to insert a sleeve into a garment through model demonstrations. You might begin by describing the process and then use visual aids to portray the procedure. Compliments in the form of feedback can increase self-efficacy while learning through modeling. If you were a drama teacher, for instance, you could model various performance skills while working with students as they practice a play. As the students perform their parts, you may highlight their strengths or give them a pat on their shoulders or a thumbs up sign before telling them their points for improvement. all for our report. Thank you for listening. Don't hesitate to ask any questions. And God bless us all.